Cayman Islands. And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz. Today is Tuesday, the 11th day of April 2023, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. My name is Orrett Connor and I'm filling in for Miss Anita Khan this morning. So good morning. And once again, we bring you another Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. The spotlight this morning will be on Blue Sky Sailing and their services. So the spotlight will be on Blue Sky Sailing and their services. But first, it is also Tuca Taco Tuesday. Tuca Taco Tuesday. We have an exciting offer for all of our listeners each Tuesday on the Business Buzz. It's Taco Tuesday, and we are giving away a gift certificate to Tuca Restaurant and Amp Bar. Every Tuesday morning, this is done. Who doesn't love a 2-for-1 tacos and margaritas? Who doesn't love that? All you have to do is listen to the trivia question and be the lucky caller with the correct answer when we pick our winner right after the 8 o'clock news segment, which will be approximately around 8:15 a.m. One winner will receive a gift certificate to Tuca Restaurant that can be used at either location in East End or West Bay. Any day, not just on Taco Tuesdays. But you don't want to miss out on the 2-for-1 taco and margarita special on all day at both Tuca locations, featuring specialty tacos like peanut chicken, blackened fish, pulled pork, vegetarian, and coconut shrimp. And, of course, the trivia question for today, Tuesday, the 11th of April. Are you ready for your trivia question? You may want to have your pen and paper ready, just in case. So, coming up in the month of April, this globally recognized day was first celebrated in which year? Name the celebratory day and the year it was first celebrated. Right? So, in the month of April, there's a globally recognized day that was first celebrated. You tell us the year. What year? You name the celebratory day and the year it was first celebrated. And of course, we ask you to continue to stay tuned. After the 8 o'clock news, our toll-free number that you can call in with your answer, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call on 949-8037 and 949-6990 if you know the answer. So, folks, as I mentioned in my opening monologue, we will be hearing all about Blue Sky Sailing. Our guest is Orneil Galbraith, who is the captain and the owner of Blue Sky Sailing. Welcome to the Business Buzz, Mr. Galbraith.
Good morning, Granny Little and Brack.
Okay, so first of all, we're going to ask you to give us some background details on Blue Sky Sailing. For instance, when it first started and the main mission of your company.
Well, thank you, Sid, for having me here. And I've been doing water sports now over, 30 years. And my passion was sailboats mostly. Mm-hmm. Then I worked on this boat. It works for a company called Cayman for about 8 years. and on the same boat. Then the owner came to me, asked me if I wanted to buy it. So I said, yeah. And as well, obviously I had to go over it first with my wife, see if we financially, if we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he came at the right time. We were transitioned houses, and it worked out. And so we bought Splendor in the Wind. And it's like a long passion for me to have my own business, because I always grew up in the business, seeing other people getting theirs, and I said, man, I want mine too. So I finally got mine, and I had it now over 4 years, like a year before COVID. So then COVID kind of hit, threw a wrench and everything, but I prevailed.
That must have been an experience, just surviving through COVID, where you couldn't even transact local business because of the lockdown and everything.
No,
I would imagine.
Exactly, right? And you weren't allowed to go to your boat. So as a boat owner, you're like, the roadblock was up the road. So I slept in, got to the yacht club, and make sure I stopped my boat and make sure she's all right,
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the boat. Tell us, about your vessel, the size of it, the amenities on board as well.
All right. So Splendor in the Wind is the name of her. She's a she's a Beneteau 47-foot Oceanus 473. She was built in 2004. 05 actually, 05. And it was purchased from the BVI. And she was in charter companies over there. And I think Blue Sky is the fourth company that boat was in.
Okay.
And I could accommodate up to 15 guests comfortably. I got nice cushions in the cockpit. Up in the bow, I got big, comfortable bean bags. That's like the best seats in the house. Yeah, I got 3 heads on board, 3 cabins, full galley, the whole works. Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about some of your main services and how people can get in contact if they're interested, the clientele that you seek to cater to as well. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, the clientele is everybody.
Yep.
I don't turn my back on anybody. I do offer great local rates. I do half days, full days, sunsets, and for half day is 600 CI. Sunsets are 300. Full days is 1,050 CI.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the local rates, and for
that's for the whole group. For
up to 15 people.
50, yes.
Yeah, it comes with sodas, water, ice, coolers, and so you feel free to bring any additional drinks or snacks, if you know. And for regular rates, half days is US $1,000. Sunsets are 500. Full days are 1,750, and full moons, 3-hour tour is 750. So, US is $250 an hour, and CI is $150 an hour. Yeah.
Okay, and on those cruises, people able to your guests able to snorkel and day
yes.
and night as well.
I don't mess around too much at night. That's too much work. But with Blue Sky, what I try to do is give you the sailing experience and experience away from all the crowd. So I don't mess around too much with the sandbar. I don't advertise it actually. I mostly go to the original Singer City. And I got a patch of coral out there by Barkas I calls it Orneil's Aquarium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been going there for 12 years now, so I kind of adopted a little area. Mm-hmm. And nobody goes there, but now people come in there now. But which is all right, as long as you keep it clean.
You better register that with the Lands and Survey.
I know I should, right? I really do, man. I really, really, really want to do it. Yeah, I keep it clean of lionfish. And also fishing lines and stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's one little area, and so I kind of want to give people a nice experience because it's right next to the reef. You hear the waves breaking on the reef. Nice turquoise water, beautiful coral formation, and there's nobody around, you know. And for the kids, what I do too, I tell them some kind of pirate story that they lost some treasure here. And it's about 8 feet of water, so they can dive down and get it.
Okay.
I sprinkle coins around so they can find it, and they love that.
Very innovative.
So, yeah, so because I do the pirate thing too, right? So I kind of put that two and two together.
So before we go to our first commercial break, let's talk a little bit about your bioluminescence private charters. What's that all about?
Yeah, so one thing I don't like to say is no in a business. What I learned over the years being a businessman, you don't say no. You say is, what can I do to make that work?
Yeah.
So what I did, I went out and went to Scott's, Uncle Anthony and them to got a nice engine. I bought myself a little dinghy. And so obviously my boat is too big to go into the bio area. So I bought a dinghy. It could come up to 8 people on it. So you do the sunset sail. Then I go up by Starfish, all depends where the wind is blowing. Or anchor at Starfish. If not, I go to the dock up there by Cayman. Then I jump in the dinghy, go around to the bio, which is nice. And come back and sail back under the stars. Okay. So it's pretty cool.
Now, we know that, our marine environment is extremely fragile.
Yeah.
And there are obviously certain rules that you have in place.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you can, your passengers, your guests can do on board your vessel, and some of the things that they cannot do as well.
Well, you can wear sunblock, but I do recommend you put it on before you get on the boat. I don't allow spraying on my boat. You know, the aerosol stuff. That thing just gets forever, everywhere. And it's not healthy, people. Please don't wear that stuff. And what I don't allow is when you get in the water, people want to apply before they get in the water, the sunblock. And I don't let them do that because it just comes off.
Right, yeah.
Right? And it slowly kills the reef. So I obviously have to explain why you're not allowed to do that. And that's what I'm trying to teach
So
them.
you have them do that in advance.
Yeah. You can't, so before you get on the boat, put on your sunblock. Then you give it time for your body to absorb it. But you're not allowed to apply it before you go in the water, just because it comes off and damages the reef. So I would try to do my best and educate the people about the seas, the protection of our waters and stuff. I'm very protected over my waters because that's my bread and butter, right? And I want my kids to enjoy it also. So,
that sunblock, that's extremely important because I think late in the game, people realized what was happening with that when they became more and more aware of the damage to the coral and everything else. So that is extremely important. So it has to be put on in advance.
In advance.
They're not allowed to put it on in the water.
Before you get in the water.
Well. We have about another minute before we go to a commercial break. In terms of where your dock is located and where you actually go, what sort of distance are you talking about?
The boat is located at the Cayman Islands Yacht Club, which is ideal spot because
Georgetown back there?
No.
Oh, no, that's
Georgetown back there is Georgetown.
It's Georgetown back there, yeah.
Yeah.
The yacht club is...
The yacht club in Georgetown back there is a restaurant.
Yes.
Cayman Islands Yacht Club is up there by Bacaro and Morgan's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's right there. And it's an ideal spot because my boat, she only could go under power 7.5 knots.
Okay.
So you don't want to be too far. And where I go, like I say, is right there by Barker's, so it's close. Yeah.
Okay, so folks, we're going to take a first commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue with Mr. Orneil Galbraith, talking, who's the captain and owner of Blue Sky Sailing. We will talk more about his company and the tours that he offers as well. We'll give you more information on it in the event that you have an interest, or if you know someone who's interested, someone who may be visiting the island, or some of you may be here and have never been on a boat tour before as well. So please stay tuned. Business Buzz will continue after this short commercial break.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
James Malcolm Eden, 1901 to 1972. Malcolm Eden was born in Loire Valley to Mrs. L.T. Isabel Eden and James Manoah Eden. He was a hard-working man who worked from a young age as a seaman and joined the Merchant Marine in the United States. He also worked as a butcher, farmed, raised cattle, and served as a vestryman for many years. He was a lifetime elder of the Presbyterian Church of Savannah. He had 6 sisters, Clydine, Sybil, Elvira, Norma, Jeray, and Louise, and 3 brothers, Stoschel, Montreville, and Bailey.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. My name is Orrett Connor and I'm filling in for Miss Anita Khan this morning on the Business Buzz. So, if you're just joining us, you may not have heard my announcement about our Taco Tuesday giveaway with Tuca Restaurant. So, every Tuesday morning, a trivia question will be asked for you to call in at 8:15 with your answer. And you could be the lucky winner of a gift certificate to Tuca Restaurant. Listen up, because this is your trivia question. Repeating it again. Coming up in the month of April, this globally recognized day was first celebrated in which year? So in which year was this globally recognized day in the month of April? We need you to name the celebratory day and the year that it was first celebrated. So we encourage you to stay tuned And to call in after the 8 o'clock news, 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037 or 949-6990 if you know the answer. And now we're back with Mr. Orneil Galbraith of Blue Sky Sailing. And we have some more questions for him, talking about some of the safety measures that come into play when you're working on the water. We're going to talk about bookings if someone wishes to book as well. Talk about some of the family-oriented activities that are offered by Blue Sky Sailing. But before we go there, Mr. Galbraith, you wanted to talk about, how you came in to the business as well and what you're doing in terms of paying it forward as well.
Yeah, I got into it because all my forefathers are all seamen, right? So I kind of want to keep the tradition going. So I got into water sports back in 1992, right out of school. Well, before school was out, work experience. So I went to Red Sail Sports. And I got there, we're working on the beach, and the big catamarans, right, that they had was Cat Palua, I think it was called. And so there was Nikki, one of the ladies, she does the horseback riding.
Okay.
And she taught me how to sail.
Okay.
She had a half an hour course on a sunfish. And the demonstrations were drawn in the sand. And that was it. I picked it up like second nature, right? So that was like my passion from ever since. I just want to sail. Then now what I do offer, I did it, I think it was about a year ago. I had a kid from, what's that place called up Frank Zone, that school? Clifton Hunter?
Clifton Hunter High School.
I had one of the kids from there. Work experience, and had him on the boat for a week.
Yeah.
And yeah, he loved it.
Great.
He really loved it. So that's what I'm doing. I want more generation Caymanians involved in sailing. Is everybody wants to be on a power boat, but our traditional ways are sailing, and that's why I want to see more of. I would love to see more of that, more sailing, more sails. Yes. That's sailed by Caymanians.
And it's more environmentally friendly as well.
Yeah, you got to remember, a patient man rides a good donkey. You got to have patience.
I have to remember that saying.
Yeah, it's not a horse,
yeah.
Quick get. Yeah, you just got to sit back and relax and enjoy it. It's so nice.
So let's talk about some of the safety precautions when you're out on the water and some of the things that you impart to your passengers.
Yeah, when you come on the boat, we are full equipped with all safety stuff, life jackets, noodles, first aid equipment, and I'm certified first aid provider.
Okay,
and
great.
CPR. So, and once you come out with me, it all depends on the weather. If the weather is too windy, I kind of know good places where we can go where it's not too much current and stuff. And yeah, everybody have to, if you're not very comfortable, wear a life jacket. If you're not that comfortable, if it's too windy, I kind of recommend just stay on the boat. I bring the stingrays to you. Because prevention is better than the cure sometimes, right? So. But yes, I'm very, very professional when it comes to the safety of people on the boat.
And those parents who are looking for some fun activities to do with their whole family, what sort of sailing activities would you recommend?
What I do when they come on board, if the kids are interested, I give them the helm or the parents, and they can sail the boat. I let them hoist the sails because there's electric winch.
Okay.
So they can press a button. Then if they're old enough and strong enough, they can do the sheet lines and stuff. Then I give some pointers how to sail the boat. Then with the kids, Starfish Point is like a big hit, and the stingrays. So yeah, so they take them up there to do that, and We kind of love that.
Now, from a tourist perspective, we continue to hear people say tourists come to the Cayman Islands and they say they want to interact, they want to talk to a native Caymanian. How important is that, and what sort of reaction do you get, from your passengers if they're non-resident? How much do they appreciate what you do?
Oh, they love it. Cause I got some stories I tell them. It just gotta. You talk about your island, you give them the history of the island, everything, and because when they come here, sad to say, they don't see too much of us. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I tell them and say, yeah, we do exist. You just gotta look harder. And I give them the whole full history of the Cayman Islands, how we got discovered, and my sailing history also. My great-great-grandfather built in Kirkby, So I have pictures of that on the boat. You saw the cat boats and everything. I tell them the whole culture about sailing and stuff, what we were founded upon, the turtling, everything. They get the whole, from my knowledge of the Cayman history. Okay. So for all those persons who may be interested in booking, tell us how we can go about booking a charter with you. And if time allows, also want you to tell us what's in store for the upcoming summer as well. Okay. All right. You could book me. All right. You could call me 326-1516-1516. Or you can email me at blueskysailing.ky@gmail.com, or you can visit my website, blueskysailingcayman.com. And why don't we repeat those again? For everyone, right? My website is blueskysailingcayman.com. My email is blueskysailling.ky@gmail.com. Or you could call me 326-1516. Okay. Anything else you want to say before we close out? Want to come in summer? Yeah. Summertime is normally slow, so local rates, please come out. And if you want to learn how to sail, I'll be more and more happy to take you out and teach you how to sail. And come on out, man. Okay, so folks, our guests on this segment of the Business Buzz was Mr. Orneil Galbraith, who is the captain and the owner of Blue Sky Sailing. We want to thank Mr. Galbraith for stopping in by Radio Cayman's Business Buzz this morning. We certainly appreciate all of our listeners and the time that Mr. Galbraith has spent with us here in the studio as well. So, folks, don't forget that right after the news at 8:15, we will be giving away a gift certificate to Tuca Restaurant as we celebrate their Taco Tuesday special, 2-for-1 tacos and margarita all day long at both locations in East End and West Bay. All you have to do is listen for a trivia question and call us at 8:15 with the correct answer. Your trivia question, one last time, is coming up in the month of April, this globally recognized day was first celebrated in what year? What year was this globally recognized day first celebrated? We want you also to name the celebratory day and the year that it was first celebrated. And should we give you a hint? Should I give them a hint, Miss Susan? Okay, yeah, we'll give you a hint. This day shows support towards environmental protection, awareness, and achievements. So, stay tuned. After the 8 o'clock news, we're going to expect the calls from you with the answer. We just gave you a hint. This day shows support towards environmental protection, awareness, and achievements. Please stay tuned. The Business Buzz will be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Price Right is 8 o'clock. At Priced Right, spending less on everyday products is easy.
Spend less on tools and automotive products.
Good deals on groceries and meat.
Electronics, TVs, Bluetooth speakers, and more.
Spend less on home cleaning products.
At Priced Right, we believe you can live, play, and love better for less.
To start saving, visit us in the Airport Center in Georgetown or at Republic's Plaza in West Bay.
Or shop online at pricedright.ky. Live better for less at Priced Right.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The Cayman National Cultural Foundation presents Red Sky at Night. The annual arts festival highlights the talent of local musicians and performers across 4 stages and showcases the work of dozens of fine artists, artisans, and traditional food vendors. It's taking place on Saturday from 2 to 11 on the grounds of the F.J. Harkworth Cultural Theater. Produced by CNCF, the popular festival is the anchor event for K-Fest, which includes Dress for Culture Day, the National Arts and Culture Awards, and the Folk Singers Anniversary Concert later in May. The lineup includes events across several stages happening simultaneously, and festival goers will be able to choose from performances on the Harkworth Theater stage, the Red Sky at Night main stage, which will be outdoors, the Studio Theater, and the fan favorite Caymanian Village, which will pay homage to traditional Caymanian performances with multiple disciplines. Also returning to Red Sky is the Parade of Nations. The Kids Creative Zone will provide activities and specialty food for kids between the ages of 3 and 12, and there will also be stargazing activities in collaboration with the Astronomical Society. In addition, the National Gallery of the Cayman Islands, the CNCF's sister organization, will be open until 8 p.m. with free admission to 3 exhibitions. For more information, you can email cncf@artscayman.org or call 949-5477. And students at Cayman International School have raised more than $6,000 for an effort to help provide access to clean drinking water in Sudan.
The Walk to Water was a project that grade 2 kind of decided to collaborate on with grade 7, and it started showing sustainable development goals that were created by the United Nations, specifically focusing in on SDG number 6, which was focus on clean water and sanitation across the globe for all human life.
Second grade teacher Natalie Grimmett says her 7- and 8-year-olds embraced the project, and they learned that children had to walk for hours in dangerous conditions twice a day to get water in South Sudan.
We took them out for a fundraiser walk across the pitch where they would do laps throughout the entire process. It was about a month-long process. They were raising money along the way, so they got really, really engaged and really invested in this project. They were pestering people at Camana Bay and going door to door and doing lemonade stands and everything just to help raise money, because it's something that we kind of take for granted here with our access to water, but it's something that they don't get to see isn't available everywhere in our Earth.
Ms. Grimmett says learning about geography and the world outside at Cayman shores was an important aspect of this effort, but even more important, developing and encouraging empathy in her students to build character. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. A government airstrike in Myanmar is thought to have killed at least 50 people. Survivors say the armed forces dropped a bomb and fired from a helicopter on a village near Sagaing, an area of opposition support. Video online shows dismembered bodies and buildings on fire. The United Nations says the Taliban in Afghanistan have forced it into having to make an appalling choice on whether to continue working in the country. It's arisen from a Taliban ban on women working for the UN in Afghanistan. The Philippines and the United States have launched their largest ever joint military drills. These come as Chinese regional assertiveness grows. Switzerland's President Alain Berset says the government averted a financial crisis by ordering the takeover of the troubled bank Credit Suisse by its rival UBS. He was addressing an emergency session of the federal parliament that's scrutinising the merger. The UN chief Antonio Guterres has said the people of Somalia are the greatest victims of climate change despite not contributing to it. He urged massive international support on arriving in the drought-hit country. The Russian Duma is debating legislation that would make online call-up notices mandatory to act on. Moscow wants further mobilization for its Ukraine war. 4 police officers have been killed by Pakistani Taliban militants as they raided a building in the southwest. Police said the raid followed intelligence that a wanted Taliban commander was hiding there. An Egyptian official has rejected claims that Cairo planned to secretly produce and supply Russia with 40,000 rockets. The claims were included in a leaked file of Pentagon documents. A prominent Czech dissident of the communist era, Dana Nemcová, has died at the age of 89. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com. Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the pharmacy just to fill a prescription?
If what, child, let me tell you.
Well, now you can save time and money with ValueMed's online prescription service. Visit ValueMed's new website, valrx.com, and click the Refill Subscriptions button. Fill in your information and choose your preferred pickup location. Or email your prescription refills for ValueMed Walkers Road at rx-wr@valrx.com, and for ValueMed in Boddentown, email rx-bt@valrx.com. Say goodbye to the hassle of waiting in lines and hello to the convenience of online prescriptions with ValueMed Pharmacy. Visit valrx.com to place your orders today.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store, or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
I tell you what, I need to find a way to bring my electricity costs down. I don't want to see another high bill next month.
Have you tried doing an energy audit?
A what?
An energy audit. The do-it-yourself energy audits on energy.gov.ky make it easy to find ways to save energy and money in your home or business.
Oh yeah? I'm going to log on to that website right now. What was it again?
Visit energy.gov.ky to download do-it-yourself energy audits for your home or business. There is even a fun activity guide for kids.
Complete an energy audit of your home or business before 31st of May 2023 to be entered into a prize giveaway. Prizes include a $5,000 gift certificate to Home Gas and gift certificates to Cooling Pros, Foam Pros, Cosulest, and Foster's.
Visit energy.gov.ky today and follow the National Energy Policy on Facebook and Instagram.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
A pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 80 degrees. Relative humidity is 77%. The barometric pressure is 29.95 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northwest at 3 knots. Overnight low temperature was 73 degrees. Synopsis indicate light winds and smooth seas are expected for the next few days due to a weak pressure gradient across the Caribbean. Satellite images show a few clouds over the Cayman area moving towards the southwest. Now, the forecast for today calling for mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of afternoon showers, and temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 knots or less, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Tonight, mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Winds will be light and variable, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. We're going to be at a low tide in about 4 minutes at 8:15. High tide will be this afternoon at 12:41, and a low tide again tonight at 7:33. The sun will set this evening at 6:41 and will rise tomorrow morning at 11 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning, with the light winds becoming east to southeast by that time. That's the very latest on your weather report.
Advice from your Aunt Angie. If you want to go scuba diving on your vacation, don't bedazzle your wetsuit. And you think you look great, but what you don't realize is that you look like a shiny, scaly fish. And it won't take long for a shark to notice you. Next thing you know, you're busting out every karate move you got. But if you're smart, you'll have CG medical insurance and get airlifted out to the closest hospital.
Get coverage for emergency evacuations. CG Brit-K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Brit-K, where people come first.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving our goals is rewarding, but at times can feel frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success. When setting your goals, break it down. Once the long-term goals are set, work backwards to set smaller and more manageable goals. These should be specific, measurable, and achievable. For example, study in the library for 1 hour 3 times per week instead of study more. Consider daily, weekly, yearly goals as success to help you focus on the essential steps today to ensure you are prepared when tomorrow's opportunities become available. Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by Encourse Cayman. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. Encourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit encourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. Encourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Top of the morning. This time, let's take a look at traffic. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is steady but flowing in both directions. Into Georgetown on Shedden, we're looking pretty good as traffic is moderate. Out of Georgetown, light to moderate traffic flow on Shedden Road. And turning our eyes to Godfrey Nixon Way and Easton Avenue, traffic is flowing at a good pace. To the east on Shamrock Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard, traffic flowing moderately in both directions, as well as on the Linford Pearson Highway. Little steady traffic heading to Georgetown on Crew Road and coming off of Agnes Way. Traffic is moderate, as well as off of Bobby Thompson Way. From the West Bay 4-way stop, traffic flowing pretty good. Edward Street, light to moderate traffic flow, and on Shedden Road, things looking pretty good. And if you see any accidents or incidents on Cayman's roads, give us a call here at Radio Cayman 949-6990. That's the very latest on your traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
When you're craving something big, something tasty that gives you that lip-smacking satisfaction, something that hits the spot, there is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
It's pretty tasty.
Filling and full of flavor. Try our new sweet onion steak teriyaki with a twist. Or the classic chicken teriyaki. Top it with green pepper, onions, cheese, and that sweet onion teriyaki sauce, all piled on your favorite artisanal bread. Satisfy that craving with a footlong from Subway.
Fresh, delicious, tasty, meaty.
Let's make it a meal with a drink, chips, and cookies. There is nothing better than a footlong from Subway.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. My name is Orrett Connor and I'm filling in for Miss Anita Khan. So we had the question this morning, giving away a gift certificate to Tuca Restaurant as we celebrate Taco Tuesday special, the 2-for-1 tacos and margaritas all day long at both locations in East End and West Bay. And the question that we had, the trivia question that we had this morning was coming up in the month of April, this globally recognized day was first celebrated in what year? So we want you to name the year as well as the celebratory day, what it is called as well. So I understand we do have a caller on hold. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the Business Buzz. Do you have the answers to our trivia question?
Good morning. I believe the answer is Earth Day and the year 1970, April 1970.
Okay. Ding, 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 Miss Susan. We have a winner. We have a winner. We're going to ask you to stay on the line. Give Miss Susan all of your details, and we want to say to you, enjoy your gift certificate from Tuca Restaurant, their Tuesday special, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the Tuesday special that they take advantage of, right, Miss Susan? They can take advantage of, you can take advantage of any day. So please stay on the line. Miss Susan will take all of your details from you again, and congratulations, and thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so folks, good morning again, and we will continue on the Business Buzz here on Radio Cayman. So what does it take to open a bookstore? Is it as easy, as simple as simply loving books, or does it involve a lot of hard work? Is it simply your love of books, or does it involve a lot of hard work? I believe it may be a combination of both, but we'll hear from someone who has all of the answers to that. Does it involve commitment and money to get a business started? Well, don't change that dial. Stay tuned. We will hear all about opening a bookstore as we talk with Miss Karen Chin, who's the owner of More Than One Words. Miss Chin, More Than Words. My apologies. That's a new name, the alternative name. All right. So, More Than Words. Miss Chin, thank you for accepting our invitation to be a guest on our show. And of course, you're no stranger. It just happens that this is the second time I'm filling in for Miss Anita Khan, and you have been one of our guests as well. So, no stranger. Good morning. Welcome to the Business Buzz.
Good morning. And thank you as well. Greatly appreciated a side job of More Than One Word. I love that. So good morning and thank you. And good morning to our listeners. And yes, no stranger to this place. In this chair, as always, for several different issues or reasons. Mm-hmm. I'm always inside Radio Cayman. I think I'm on the payroll, Miss Susan. So just cut me the check as I'm going through the door later on. As it requires commitment and money. Mm-hmm. There's my money right there.
Okay.
Money kidding, but thank you. Hard work, yes. Commitment, yes. And you said a combination, and it's really a combination. Thank you.
Okay. So, we'd like you to share with our listening and viewing audience your story, how it began, your choice of taking up literary entrepreneurship, making the leap with the CLM Publishing as well.
Well, I think, sometimes when you write a book, you have a volume 1, volume 2, and in some businesses, you have a spin-off from that business. So when we started out as Christian Lifestyle Magazine, then we started with a second company doing graphic designs and several buildings that people didn't know or don't know that we were behind that as well, including some of the well-known pharmacies and so on, the graphic designs on the windows or the decals on the vehicles and so on. We are involved in that. Then you got a spin-off where I started doing CLM publishing. And CLM Publishing, Miss Mary Rankin and a few others pushed me in that direction because Miss Mary wrote a book that she wrote it without neither chapter or, she just wrote it consistently, saying that she poured out everything in her head because it actually named Getting It Off My Chest. Wow. So when she brought that book to us to take on that challenge, it seems like we have something. So we started doing CLM Publishing, providing public publishing for authors. Then I think, after publishing so long and so much, the next step, I think, I jump at the opportunity to open this store called More Than Words. So in doing this, it helps us to find a place for local authors, a home for local authors. We are actually in other bookstores, but I just figure I got the call to open a bookstore, and when I said I got the call, I mean internally. I never say, I like the first caller you had earlier. He said never say no to a business opportunity, and that's me as well. I never say no. I don't stop to say, oh, am I going to find the money from, or how this is going to be. I don't challenge myself with those questions. I challenge myself with, when can I start this, or hopefully I will continue this, not just start it, but will continue it. So that's my journey.
Now, when the internet started to explode and then you had e-books coming along and everything, a lot of people felt that was the death knell for the traditional bookstore. Tell us why that has not necessarily materialized.
Okay, people love books. We don't always sit down and read them, but it's almost like you have to have a bookshelf in your house. I don't know about how a person can survive without having a bookshelf. You have the television stand, you have that one, but in the corner of your house should have a bookshelf. Whether you want to just put the Bible and a dictionary on it, it's fine. It's still words, but you have to have a mini place where you can get yourself lost in not just jumping on a plane to go to Paris, but seeing a book about Paris, or seeing the atlas, seeing maps and so forth. So it's important to have books there. So I'm not challenged by e-books or so on, because I still love the smell of a new book. And whether it's an old book that is smelling as well, I still love the scent of books. It has this inviting, let's just turn these pages and so forth. And I love to read. And maybe that's why I'm in this pathway of not just a publisher, but also the owner of a bookstore. So it's a place where if you're a local author and you just want to come in and have a small sign-in with, just friends or at school or something, you can do that in us. And it's offered at the other bookstores as well. But as one visitor to our opening Saturday said, she said, there are over 67,000 people here, enough to go around, because I told her I was staying away from some particular books, like that store brand mark, or so on. So she said, no, there are more than 67,000 people here, so there's enough, enough for all of you. So,
well, by the estimates, we're probably over 80,000 now.
I heard that as well, so I did not correct her. She knows where the other 13,000 are.
So you mentioned the launch, and let's talk a little bit about that event and how did it go? How was it?
Well, I got this since February. We signed the contract for the place, and I love ambience, and we just started creating, and we found that we were continuing creating a space but not allowing for it to be open because we just keep changing the decor or the ambience and so on. So finally, without thinking, it was Easter weekend, and everybody's going off island or everybody doing camping and all of that, we just decided, oh, you know what? Because next week actually is Red Sky, and we are gonna be there, so we have to close that Saturday. And the following week Saturday is another, people going weddings, showers, and graduations, and all different kind of stuff. So there's never a right time for everyone, but there's a right time for you and who will come. So I went forward with the Easter opening this weekend, Saturday past, and in spite of the rain and in spite of it being Easter and all of that, we had a great turnout, and we're pleased with that. So I'm thankful. The others that didn't get to come, hello. So we are officially open at the second floor at the Thompson Building, and many people said the location. We weren't worried about that either. You want to have something, or you're going to have something somewhere, people find you in the back street or the sidewalk or so on. Your people will find you. So we were well supported on Saturday, and we'll look forward to that continued support from our visitors and locals.
Okay, and
Yes.
let's talk about some of the books that you have in stock, and the type of clientele that you will be catering to.
I want to just jump on that line again from our caller before. That's we don't have we are not looking for a particular clientele. We are open for all. You come on in, you will find something on mental health, well-being, mindset, local books, a lot of local books definitely, because as we said, we're gonna be the hub for local authors. So if you're looking for most authors in the same place, we're hoping that we can capture that. Most local authors book in the same place. So we do have your traditional romance, your traditional mystery, and a few other stuff, but ideally more local books. And we do have gifts, hence the name More Than Words. So we do have some gift baskets and gift stuff for, if you're looking for a particular gift for friends, just an appreciation, a thank you, and so forth. We want to have some of those. And in the spirit of mail, my husband decided to put some mini cars in it and a couple other stuff and some boats. So you'll find that he's saying, I want to make sure that when a husband walking with a wife is not just a wife looking at books.
Yes, there's something.
So
Yeah.
there's and men do buy books, and that is to say that one of our biggest seller on Saturday was a man. He bought 6 books. 6 books, and I thought, wow, isn't that wonderful? I mean, a lot of people bought 2 or 3 or so on, but he bought 6 books. And so that is to say that we're not worried about ebooks, and we're not worried about men not buying books or so on. We printed books going to be around for a while.
Now, what I've found in Cayman, for instance, is that there's certain, especially with the local writers, sometimes the publication may go out of print.
Right.
And one example of that
Mary Rankin
is and
let's say that.
And our national hero, Mr. Ormond Panton's book as
Oh,
well,
wow.
and that was published by Pansons Limited, I believe it was called.
Okay.
And when people started to talk about Mr. Our national hero, Mr. Ormond Panton, it generated so much interest in his book. I was fortunate to get a second copy. Someone found it at a charity shop.
Right.
They found it there. No longer in publication. I was told that efforts were being made to republish it. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we return, if you could talk a little bit about your publishing company as well, and whether or not you would entertain requests for persons who wanted to republish, whether or not that is possible as well. So, folks, we're going to take a commercial break just to remind you that you're listening to the Business Buzz, so stay tuned to hear more all about the owner of More Than Words, Miss Karen Chin, who's in the studio with us. Please stay tuned. The Business Buzz will be back after this short commercial break.
The Ministry of Education invites eligible Caymanians to apply for an Education Council Local Scholarship for the 2023-2024 academic year. To apply for a local scholarship or learn more about various scholarship offerings, please visit the Scholarship Secretariat Unit's website at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Sunday, April 30th, 2023. Brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
We give you honor and praise, adoration and glory.
Radio Cayman.
Praise time.
Praise him, praise him. Come and let's praise the Lord. Come and let's praise the Lord. Praise him in the morning and in the evening. Oh, let's praise the Lord.
Praise time in the morning.
Praise him, praise him.
Weekdays 6 to 6:30 a.m.
Radio Cayman, waking you up.
Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite. Rock my soul in the blues of my favorite.
Praise time.
I know he cares. He'll always be there. Oh, yeah. Praise him, praise him, praise him.
Praise time.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. or you will miss it.
Radio Cayman News.
Hampton goes on the record to explain the rapid departure of Chris Saunders from cabinet.
There were issues of conduct with Mr. Saunders. I ended up having to make a very, very difficult decision.
Saunders contradicts statements about the how and why of Mr. Saunders' departure from cabinet.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. My name is Orrett Connor and I'm filling in for Miss Anita Khan this morning on the Business Buzz. It's my pleasure to have in the studio with me for this segment Mrs. Karen Chin, who's the owner of More Than Words, right? Again, we want to thank her for coming in to the studio. And she's also the owner of, was it CLM Publishing as well. So we want to talk about those persons who may have published a book, it may be out of print, and how whether or not your company can assist in terms of the reprinting, as well. And I gave you, classic example, of, a special son, Mr. National Hero Orman Laura Panton, and he was assisted in the writing of that book, Dave Martin's, as well. So that was one example where I know people still would love to have that book, but extremely difficult to obtain.
Awesome. It is wonderful to hold a piece of history in, because this is history itself right here, and it could be used in the schools as well.
Yes,
yes. When you want to learn about your national heroes, our national heroes. But yes, we can offer republishing. We have to find out who owns the right to this book, and the family can reach out if they own the right to the book. I saw that it was published by Pan Sons Limited, and a PO box is there. So I may reach out and see what can be done about igniting the fire back under this book. It's a beautiful book about Mr. Armand Panton, and it's necessary that these things come alive again, especially seeing that you said you found it at a thrift shop. It simply means that someone didn't know the gold mine that they had.
Someone found it for me because I was searching all over to get another copy. I wanted to share one copy with a friend of mine in New York at the time.
Yes, and it's absolutely amazing that it was done way back when, and it could be refreshed now because it's 20-something years now, if I'm counting right, 92 to now, 21, I think, about that. Don't do me that, Mr. Earth. Why I'm turning all over the place? It's got to be about 30. Yes, you're right, because we're in 2023.
Yes.
I know. Yes, so 31. It's somewhere there about. So it's usually if you find a book online that's been out of print for 75 years, you can claim the right.
Okay.
But this is 30 years, so we will have to track it down to find out, or just assist them to republish. And it's a wonderful thing if Mr. Martin want to reach out and get it going. So yes, we can do that for those that are out of print. There are some family members. Let's take one of the books that we've done. Let me jump off from Miss Mary Rankin and
sure.
quote. I will not trouble her again because I keep asking her about the same thing. Debbie Sibley's Webb. She also will have a wonderful book, and many people have asked her to, reprint. It doesn't need republishing. Just get some more copies. Some people just do it at the beginning as a vanity stuff. Like I just want 50 copies. Like Mr. W. Norman Bodden, he only wanted 50 copies to share with his family, and I said, Mr. Norman, this is a great book. Get a little bit more copies. And his 250 copies, hardbacks, plus some extra paperbacks, sold out the day of the signing.
Wow.
Now, something like that are those books mentioned, you need to, reprint and reprint and reprint and reprint as many times as possible so that people can get them. Because when you print only 200 or 50 copies in an island of 67,000 people then, and the plus now, you are saying that only 250 people will read, or only 250 people want to read. What about, there's a question I saw earlier from the draft that was sent by Susan, and it talks about, getting the books out there, what authors need to do. And one of the things that authors fail to do is market the book. You wrote the book, and you just decided to sit down after that. People will find you, yes, but they have to know where to find you as well and how to find you. So an email address as many times as possible. And even if the friend that bought one still sitting down in your email address or on your phone, you still send it to that friend as a asking to send it to your other friends or get a copy for that other friends because, that's how it is. You have to go forward with marketing, tell somebody about it, and hope that not only your father and mother is going to, if your father bought a copy, get your mom to buy one as well. They're reading on two different time zones, so get your own copies. So it's important that authors market. And something like this, A Special Son, a unique and gripping life. Now, we know of the small information that we receive via maybe government or Wikipedia or so on about Mr. Panton. How about getting that book reprinted or republished so that it can be now in schools? Because in 1992, education has always been a big thing here in Cayman, but I'm searching for the word. I'm wordy, but when it comes to some things, I try not to go overboard. So books like these may not have been a big thing then, but it is now.
Yes.
And with the reshuffling or revamping of the education department, trying to get some local books in the system, one of them.
And it puts our history now in a better perspective.
Yes, I got some flack some years ago when I did the Cayman Islands A to Z. I mentioned that my daughter didn't even know that there was a national hero, or they were national heroes in the Cayman Islands at 16, and she just left high school, a triple science student, and so forth. Doing all of those things now is important because our children don't even know that they are local authors, and that's terrible. And that's a bad thing. I won't let's say terrible is too strong. That's a bad thing when we don't know that the national hero, Armand Panton, there's a book about him. There's a book about Miss Sibyl McLaughlin because we published that one. But what about the other 8? I've been talking with someone some years ago, not now, but conversation came up about Miss Shire years ago, and now she's a national hero. Now, are we going to just now put on a Band-Aid on it, or we should have had some information out there, big information out there about who she is? These are the little steps that we can take for our children to recognize later on. We are maybe a small island or maybe small islands, but we can do great things.
So rather than having little snippets, of the person, you have, something, that is
good records,
all combined in one. Yes.
Yes.
Consolidated.
Yes.
Okay. So between the bookstore and CLM Publishing, will that serve as a hub for local authors to be able to showcase their works as well?
Yes, it will be. We actually hope that if you're doing a signing, if you have never done a book signing, you can also use a small facility. It can accommodate, a number of people. May not be all at the same time, but we can accommodate a book signing. We want to also present the opportunity for authors to get together and, be together in one place. Maybe once per month, we just sit down as authors, whether it's 8, 18, or 88 of us, sit down and discuss and ways we can go forward. Because I found, I don't know if it's something that we are not taking advantage of, or maybe it's there and I don't see it, but it would be nice if we have authors, not union, but authors thing to where, hello, I am doing this book launch. If 88 of the authors here in Cayman Islands would go and support that author when they're doing a book launch.
Something like a cooperative.
Yeah, but we just stand aside and, oh, he's doing a signing. It's not my book, so I'm not going, and so forth. It's not a nice place.
Yes.
Welcome the person, encourage the person, and support the person. If they're coming forward with their books, hello, if you love book that you wrote one, it's good that you go and support someone else. And that's my thing. And you notice how serious I am today? I don't know. I'm usually all over jovial and all of that, but it's a serious topic for me. Where things like these, looking at this book, I'm surprised. Even myself, I didn't even know about it.
Wow.
And so it's my mind is a little bit pensive right now because I'm thinking, wow, a book like this is here, and I didn't even know.
And if you notice, I pulled it out of my
knapsack.
I carry it with me. It wasn't in preparation for this show. It was just an afterthought when we started to to talk about it. And and I know the difficulty, and I've been trying to push for it to be republished. And I heard someone sent me a message once saying that it was in the works.
Yes.
I'm not sure where it's at, but I'm sure now that you will delve into it and make some inquiries and see, because it is something, there's so much in there, and it doesn't involve a whole lot of speculation. He is alive and well when that book was being when it was being written and when it was published. So and the sons and daughters would have contested the information if it wasn't so.
Exactly. I can imagine that it's a good thing to get it while the time was. Yeah.
Now you did mention the More Than Words location, the bookstore, and that there other attractions that you have there as well. But I'd like you to talk a little bit more about that, some of the items that you spoke about earlier that you carry in your store, so that customers there can have sort of a variety of choices.
We do have quite a number of authors and already on the shelves. We have Mr. Lemuel Hurlston. We're hoping to get some stock in soon of W. Norman Baden, though we are the publisher. It sold out that time, and we never got around to doing a reprint, but we're actively working to get some of those books back on the shelf. It would be nice to get Mr. Roy Baden complete collections, but right now we have the essay about the one that was written about him, and so he has been writing a lot of books, but somebody wrote a book about him, so that we have that also prominently on the shelf. When you walk in, you can see most people go, oh, Mr. Roy Barden's work. And so, Mr. Roy Barden came, I like to say Radio Cayman's Roy Barden, that Life in a Conch Shell, also getting those on the shelves and so on. But lots more local authors than I care to, I can remember now. But you can also find books from me as well over there. So though I write under E.K. Jasmine, I do have books also that finally is in Karen Chin's name. So that you'll find there, the Cayman Islands A to Z trivia and all of those books. And lots more. Greta Malcolm and Susan Brooks, Tricia Cybers-Burisma. All of them we have a lot of books on the shelf now that will encourage your library extension.
Okay, Ms. Susan, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, I want to remind you that the conversation's taking place with Ms. Karen Chin, who is the owner of More Than Words bookstore, and she's also the owner of CLM Publishing as well. Please stay tuned. The Business Buzz will continue after this short commercial break.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
This is how we wake you up in the morning. Praise time on Radio Cayman. Praise time.
Jesus in the morning. I will. So send me, Lord. I will go. Born again. Thank God I'm born again.
Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. My name is Orrett Connor, filling in for Miss Anita Khan. It is my pleasure to have in the studio for this segment Miss Karen Chin, who is the owner of More Than Words, as well as the owner of CLM Publishing. We're on the last leg of the show this morning. We spoke about location, and but there's also a saying: if you build it, they will come.
That's right.
And so while location may be important, sometimes it isn't. One of our listeners has written and said, "Good morning. Can the publisher say how to get in touch with her and where the store is?" So we'd like you to repeat that information that you provided earlier as well, Ms. Chin.
Okay, Susan, put the playback on to repeat, but I will say, I'm just kidding. I will say that we're located at, the shop location is 2nd floor, Thompson Building, and it's shop number 4. As you come up the stairs, you'll see More Than Word. You can't miss it. The huge thing is there. I'm only kidding. But you'll see that there is a More Than Word sign as you're coming up the stairs at the Thompson Building. Now, the Thompson Building, for some that don't know where it is, it's located in the center there of Georgetown, next to the post office, or right in sharing line with CIBC Bank right there, or the perfume section. So it's surrounded by the perfume, Caymanian perfume, duty-free right there. The post office facing it, and the CIBC Bank located on the other side of the building. And the CLM Publishing, you can email CLM Publishing at production@clmpublishing.com. That's production@clmpublishing, and or call us 92. No. You know when you have too many numbers, but CLM Publishing 926-2507, or More Than Words, you can call 936-5544. That's 936-5544 for More Than Words. And I'm just now hearing myself, so I possibly gonna say the location again is shop number 4, second floor of the Thompson Building. And also, you can reach us via email, CLM Publishing. You can reach production@clmpublishing.com.
And let's talk again, remind our listeners about CLM Publishing, what exactly it is that you do in terms of publishing. The full gamut.
Yes, we offer even ghostwriting, because one client said once, Karen, if I wanted a ghostwriter, I would have employed you. Because we do look at it from a different angle. You write the book or you wrote the book and you decided, I'm going to publish this book. And so we even do a little consultation on your first chapter. If no charge to just see your first chapter or see a synopsis of the book and take a good look at it. We offer editing, layout, cover design, ISBN, copyright, the whole gamut.
Now that there are people who believe, and maybe the data does show that people do less reading now, I guess, with TikTok and all of the other social media platforms, and that is sometimes how people interact. But not always do you get the precise information or detailed information that you need, from those various platforms.
Yes.
So reading is still the in thing.
Fundamental.
There are people who still read the printed newspaper as opposed to the online newspaper as well.
That's right. Because you see, if you love to read, it doesn't matter. You could be in the crowded, noisy airline, airport, anywhere, and the book is open and you're so deep in that book because you love to read. And then there are the ones that would just scan the pages. Now, they're distracted by everything, including the phone, TikTok sounding off or so on. I have no problem with the person being on TikTok, and I have no problem with the person being Instagram, Pinterest, whatever, suits you. But you have to read, because how are you going to post something wonderful or encouraging on TikTok or Instagram? It must be that you read it somewhere, and it might not be a book you open, but it must have been that you went on someone's page to read something and found a nice little information that you want to TikTok about. So if you're a TikToker or just Instagram or Pinterest or wherever it is, these are information that comes from books anyway, because words is where it all started,
That's so true. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to the Business Buzz.
Good morning to you, Mr. Wussy. Good morning to Miss Chin.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I was just wondering if it was possible for you to locate a book. It's a booklet really, Under Tin Roofs by Arona Booker Coleman. She came here to Cayman with her parents, the Bookers, in 1925, and there are wonderful pictures of her at my mother's wedding. We have here at Peever St. James, 1927, September. Some wonderful pictures of her, and that little book, a great book. We can't find any more of it. I haven't been able to locate it. I just wondered if you can locate somewhere, or maybe get in touch with the family. Of course, she's long passed away now, but my mother knew her very well. That's why she was at her wedding, which is a few years younger than my mother. We became close friends.
Okay, caller, could you repeat could you repeat the title and the author very slowly for us again, please?
Booker Coleman.
Under Tin Roofs. Arona Booker Coleman. It's spelled K-H-O, the German way.
Okay.
Not the British way, Coleman. And that was her married name. She was Arona Booker. It's a wonderful little book, Under Tin Roofs. We haven't been able to get any now for quite a few years. I'm just trying to locate it. It's a booklet, if you want to call it that. little pamphlet size, something maybe 3 to an inch thick. But it's a wonderful, real wonderful. It relates about Cayman from 1925 when she came here till about 1935 or so. Really wonderful little book, Under Tin Roofs. I think she wrote it with the assistance of the Barefoot Man in 1983, I think. I could be wrong, he can tell you. But if you could locate it, you could give me a call, please. My number is 916-3571.
916-3571.
And this is Stacy Hurlston or Mickey Hurlston. Most people know.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Hurlston. Thank you very much.
No, honestly, I thought he was calling it his book because he's so informative. I listen to him and talk today sometimes and on your show, and he's always sharing. And when you go to Pedro Castle as well, you can hear from Mr. Hurlston as much as possible. So, yes, good morning.
Yes. Okay, we want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well, Ms. Chin.
Of course. And now, see, another business opportunity just open up where I'm on the hunt for books and so forth. So thank you for that. Again, we are More Than Words, and it's located at shop number 4, second floor, and the Thompson Building in Georgetown. And also CLM Publishing. My office is going to be moving there because we've been in Countryside almost 14 years.
Wow,
and so so you'll find us there as well. Production at clmpublishing.com or 926-2507, 926-2507, or 936-5544. That's More Than Word, 936-5544. If you are interested in reading or just want to hang out, come and look around, and we do have a nice little chair seated somewhere. So if you're just tired and want to read for a little bit, we're not a library. We will not replace the library, but you can come in and browse and take a seat for a moment and enjoy your day in that. Closing comment, I don't know if there's a closing because I'm always here. So I will say that on my next visit.
To be continued.
To be continued. But I'm grateful for Suzanne to reach out to say this, and for you to also accommodate us one more time in the studio. And I say us because I'm wearing 2 hats today. Got to remember to switch position. CLM Publishing and More Than Words.
More Than Words,
and
yes.
I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've been given in the Cayman Islands to do this, to start my own business and to continue on the pathway where I'm on. So I'm grateful for that.
Okay, well, folks, we have been having an inspiring chat with Mrs. Karen Chin, who's the owner of More Than Words, which is a new bookstore in the Thompson building. Ms. Chin, thank you very much for stopping by on Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I am Orrett Connor, your guest host, sitting in for Anita Khan. Many thanks to our sponsor, Cayman Insurance Center. Join us again on Thursday for another version of the Business Buzz.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman